Hi, class. We have made it to the end. Thank you. Wonderful job. Now, as we end week 14 today, I want to remind each of you that the final paper is due before 11:59 p.m. on December the 19th. With that being said, as I just recorded um, in the material that you'll hear following this slide, they're reminders that there's several places in the course that the final paper is addressed. So, guys, you want to visit at least three of those places. So, you want to go and see what it is that is required. If you don't understand one area, then there's another area. And if not, there's still another area. So, there are multiple areas within the course that the assignment, including expectations and grading rubric, is addressed. Right? Two, I know the semester was challenging for some, more challenging for others. Um, but at the end of the day, I think we had a great semester. There was some interesting discussions that we experienced, and knowledge was symbiotic in that I learned from you almost as much as you learned from me. So I want to thank you for allowing me the experience to be able to learn from you and from your experience and look at things through your lenses. That was totally awesome. Now, as the semester ends, I want to again take the opportunity to thank you and to wish you happy holidays and a wonderful and prosperous new year. Goodbye. Hi, class. So here we are at the end of the semester. Um, the class officially ends today, and what's going on right now is your opportunity to submit your final paper for the class. Now, let's take a look at what we have done so far. We started week one where we just got acquainted with each other. It was simply a meet or greet. Then we went on to week two, where we looked at the sociological perspective. And here we examined the sociological imagination. We looked at the origins of sociology, and we looked at sociology and the public. Week three, we moved on to research and methods of research. And here we had the opportunity to look at the research process, challenges in doing research, and research in the real world. We moved on to week four, where we looked at culture and social change. Here we had the opportunity to examine the elements of culture, cultural integration and diversity, and the production of culture. Week five, we summarized module one, including the discussion and the quiz for module one. We went on to module two, week six, and week six started with us looking at interaction and social structure. In looking at interaction and social structure, we looked at theories of social change and theories of development. Week seven, we looked at groups and organizations, and here we focused on the nature of groups, the rise and fall of formal organizations or bureaucratic innovation, and we also looked at the nature of bureaucracy. This module ended with our looking back and summarizing, and also having a quiz which helped us with the summarization of the module. We moved to module three. Module three began with week nine, and week nine we looked at deviance and crime. In looking at deviance and crime, we took the opportunity to look at the nature of deviance. We looked at theories that explained who became deviant um, from a biological or sociological perspective, and we also had the opportunity to look at crime and criminal justice. For week 10, we looked at class and stratification, and in looking at class and stratification, we were able to understand the the correlation between wealth, power, and prestige. We looked at inequality and social mobility, and we looked at poverty in the United States. Module 3 ended with a summary of the module to also include a quiz which covered the content of the module. For Module 4, we began by looking at sex and gender. Module 4 highlighted the difference between sex and gender. It looked at gender socialization and patterns of gender inequality. We moved on to week 13, looking at race and ethnicity, trying to understand concepts such as cultural diversity, patterns of intergroup relations, as well as taking an in depth look at minority groups in the United States. Week 14, which ends today, we used to look at family. We looked at family functions and structure with a focus on marriage and divorce. We also examined family types and looked at the future of American families. Having said that, we are now in the final week of the semester, which we're now in the final week of the semester in which we have the paper that is due. And at the end of this, we're done. And just to give you, before I end, just to go very quickly and look at, to remind you, the deadline for the paper is 12/19. So, guys, remember the paper is due 12/19 and it opened up from yesterday and again due 12/19. There's several places in the course outline that looks at um, the paper and the expectations of the paper. So I encourage you, if you're not sure what the paper is about, that you take a look at the multiple areas in which the paper is addressed, right? So if you look right here, it speaks about the extra credit assignment, and this extra credit assignment is technically the paper for those of you who submitted before. I think who submitted before the 10th of December. That was the extra credit, but the assignment in set itself can be found here if you click this link. Um, if in addition to that, the assignment is also found here. All right. Trying to see where else the assignment can be found. So I just exhausted the announcement area. So we saw at least two places in that area where the assignment is found. The assignment again can be found in addition to those areas. The assignment can be found here, final research paper, right? So there are many areas within the course that you can find the assignment in an effort to even try to get an understanding of the assignment. Here, I've outlined for you the grading rubric that is assigned to the assignment. So, guys, you want to take a minute and look at all of this as you get ready to submit your final assignment. Again, remember, this ends on the deadline for submission is December the 19th.